Well, today we're doing another GameCube game. I just thought about this because a lot of people say, oh, the GameCube is a really popular system from Nintendo. What do I say to that? That's not true. Now, the console isn't bad. It's, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I mean, not all the games are good, like extremely good, but, you know, it can't play regular DVDs, it can't play CDs, but there was another version of the GameCube that could, but it didn't come out in America. And that system can cost you up to $500, and you won't know if it's modded or not to accommodate for region lock. So why is the GameCube so popular now, even though it wasn't, and it didn't sell very well? I don't know. I mean, sure, the N64 hasn't aged incredibly well, but the GameCube? I mean, yeah, the games look great. Well, I mean, the games look good to great. I mean, um, there's basically no slowdown, but it's kind of hard to tell because the GameCube is designed for the GameCube games. Uh, this is my GameCube. I'm lucky to have one in this color because in America, we only got a Game Boy player that was this color. Isn't that just wonderful? Well, unless you import a GameCube Q from over in Japan and buy a GameCube Q Game Boy player, then you'll get a kind of a silver color, but almost dropped my phone. But that isn't really worth it. I mean, if you don't have a DVD player and you don't have a GameCube, then it would be the perfect excuse to get a Q, but I can't really recommend it unless you absolutely know that it's region friendly, modded, and that um you can learn how to use it, and that it comes with the DVD remote, and that you can learn how to use it. I know I already said that, but still. Do I suggest buying the Game Boy player for it? Well, actually, I kind of have to, because you can't buy a regular GameCube player, I mean a Game Boy player, for the Q. It has to be its own specialized version, which can run up to $1,000 I found on eBay. Isn't that just wonderful? And only to play Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. Yes, this is a better way to play them. I mean, the Game Boy Advance isn't very good unless you have a 101 model, which I don't. Even the 101 model, it still has the awful speaker of the Game Boy Advance. I mean, the Game Boy Advance speaker is tolerable, and it does have a external dongle for the microphone. I mean, the headphones. With the Game Boy player, though, you could practically just play it on your TV, but you could also do that with the Super Game Boy. Eh. Technically, if you knew how, you could actually put a movie onto a GameCube disc because they're practically just mini DVDs. And if you know how to do it correctly, you can even get them to play. But if you don't do it right, it'll say no disc or even foreign disc, which basically means wrong disc. The GameCube is practically designed to play CDs, even though this one can't unless you put music on it. But a mini DVD, but and then as you can see, GameCube. I mean, the GameCube controllers are pretty popular now. I mean, even the Switch has a version of it. The originals. Everyone complains how small the D-pad is on the GameCube controllers, the originals, And I have to completely agree with them that it is pretty small on the originals. But the Switch one is actually better. It's a little bit bigger. Now, the problem is with these analog controllers is that the springs will, or whatever's helping them center and move, will deteriorate over time, just like the N64 controllers. In fact, my green N64 controller has very much of a problem with um, joystick drift, where I've used it so much that I can barely play games with it anymore. That's why I bought that red one. My other controllers are actually relatively good. Mostly because I only used the one. I don't usually have that many friends over, especially with a certain pandemic going on. Well, I will be doing some more GameCube videos. I know I've done The Sims before, and I have actually gotten a little bit further in that game. It's just a little hard to, yeah. And yes, I have been playing a little bit of Sim City, but yeah. The GameCube is great, but why all the nostalgia? The console didn't sell well, and you can also play GameCube games on your Wii, but only certain versions of your Wii. If you buy a Wii that doesn't have the GameCube ports on it, then you can't play GameCube games on it. Why? I don't know why all versions of the Wii didn't have this, and I don't know why they didn't bring this back with the Wii U either. But they basically just said, you know what? No. This is why I bought a regular GameCube instead of a Wii to play these games, because I already had a Wii U, and I wanted a GameCube, so might as well just go with the original. And please consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and let's see if we can get to 100 subscribers. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much. This is a little extra. The Xbox 360 can also play DVDs. Now, I do have a DVD player down here with a VHS player built into it, just because. You know, when the N64 came out, they could have actually made a VHS player for it. I mean, there's no reason why not to. I mean, VHSs were still pretty popular. DVDs were relatively new, if not non-existent. And, yeah. Now, the PlayStation 5, I believe, can play Blu-ray, DVD, and, yeah, CDs, which is great, but, yeah. It may even be able to play more than that. But then again, who knows? Maybe DVDs will finally have a chance to die because, well, I mean, this would be a perfect time for them to do that because, well, it happened to VHSs, it happened to film, film reels more specifically. So, who knows? Just like HD DVDs, Blu-ray killed them. And so, who knows? Maybe regular DVDs will finally die. And they have been slowly dying, so maybe we'll just be left with Blu-ray. But maybe not even Blu-ray. The closest thing, the newest one I have seen is in the orange cases at video stores, where it's the 4K players on 4K TVs. This is the exact same design from 3D TVs. You had to have a 3D Blu-ray player and a 3D TV. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. Well, we're probably going to be looking at the rest of the GameCube games in my collection because, well, I don't have anything better to do. Well, thank you for watching, and goodbye.